You are now tuned in to the amazing We Don't Play podcast channel. Welcome to Play Radio, everybody. This is where we have a lot of interactions, a lot of conversations, a lot of entertainment talk. And in today's segment, we're going to deal with one person. I'm excited for this person we're about to bring on board today. His name is Abel Linyonyi. We're going to call him. He's all the way in Kenya. Shout out to Kenya, by the way. He has a lot of project management skills that he wants to give you guys. And the topics he wants to touch on are communication and culture, mentorship of entrepreneurs. And by the way, check out the LinkedIn group for aspiring global entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. And intellectual property. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a very, very good one. So, with no further ado, I'm going to call Mr. Abel. And once he picks up, we're going to have a talk for about 30 minutes. And I'm definitely excited to check this out with you because I'm also excited to know what he's going to talk about. So, now we're about to go in 3, 2, 1. So I'm calling him right now. Let's go. Are we all there? Hey, how are you?
I'm good, yourself.
I'm good. Welcome to the Play Radio We Don't Play podcast channel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So before we go any further, let people know who you are. I've already introduced you, but I want people to know who you are. So let us know who you are, what you do, and what you're here for.
My name is Abel. I go by the name Abel Linyonyi. That's my day-to-day name at work, and I do communication on various issues. So that's what I do. I'm more into communication, and right now it's more of digital communication.
Oh, okay. How's that going?
It's great. I can't complain. I'm learning also each day.
Okay. Could you tell us some of the things that you're learning?
Yes, sir. Actually, in communication and culture.
Okay.
One of the key things is when you're in the city, you do believe that most of the time it's probably the same formulas that are being used in the city, but when you go further back, as I said, you have to understand the culture around it, around what happens in certain area, and use that in terms of delivering your work.
Okay.
So I think the biggest thing I've learned so far is to be able to understand the various things, or rather to be able to use the various opportunities and platforms to be able to deliver on the work.
Okay. So what are the methods that you're using now that is different from what you saw before you started?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Now I'm saying, what are the things that you're seeing now that are different from what you saw when you started? Like, what are the communication cultural beliefs and strategy methods and all the communication culture methods that you can say exist that work, and the ones that you know were not working that are working now? So what is the impact of the communication and culture system right now compared to before you started it?
I I can say that with time I've been able to be first. One of the key things that most professionals lack is mentorship. So the best thing that has happened in terms of appreciating communication and culture is I have understood that there are tools that probably might work in a certain situation or in dealing with people probably of where there's a higher level of literacy.
Yeah.
You might use logic or ethics. But in certain spaces when the level of literacy is low, you just have to be able to understand that when you're doing your communication, the best way to be able to deliver is to be able to use emotion how do you call it? As an appeal. So most people relate to emotion more than logic.
Yeah.
And therefore, you're able in Nairobi probably you'll be able to say, okay, logically this is the issue to do, but now I have to be considerate of the emotional part.
Yeah.
That people now have or an attachment to something. And so through people mentoring you, you're able now to deliver totally different or able to see communication at a totally different light. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm trying to understand too, with the culture and the emotion, like you said, there's mentorship involved. So how do you, with your business, and also, by the way, congratulations on your position publicly at A.G.E International. Is that correct?
Yes. Initially, how we started was, I think the growth has come out of starting from a point of being mentored. So for the past almost 3+ years,
yeah,
I think the team, even the team I'm working with, we started with normal kind of employment in government.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening.
So from there is when now we've been able, after those 3+ years of being able to understand and learn, understand culture, get mentored, you're able now to be able to set up something that can serve people that you do understand.
Yeah.
So that's how A.G.E International came in. It was out of that mentorship, that understanding of the culture, and when we are able now to communicate about a certain issue,
yeah,
we are communicating from a point of understanding.
That's a good one.
So thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're most welcome. Tell me, what's you've already given a little backstory, but what is your passion behind A.G.E International? What drives you? You've mentioned communication and culture, mentorship of entrepreneurs, but where is the focus point? What drives your business? What gives you the forefront of your study?
I'd say that the motivation, I believe that's the motivation behind the business. That's, I think, the issue you're asking me about.
Yes.
Yes, the motivation behind the business is, first thing is being an African. Most people have been entrepreneurs and are unable to sustain the entrepreneur bit.
Yeah.
The issue, most of the time, is not the skill. It's not the delivery of work, because most people even have to overqualified.
That's true.
But the gap has always been the communication. If it's a brand, the gap, the motivation is most Africans. We mess up, or rather we miss out on opportunity when it comes to how we communicate what we're doing, how we're doing it, and when we're doing it.
Yeah.
So we might have something really nice, but people know when you're doing, but they don't understand why you're doing it.
That's true.
So we as a team, we take pride in being able to bridge that gap between the consumer of a certain product and the producer of it.
Okay.
And that's where we fit. Be able to make our customers or our brand's customer understand why a certain thing is being done. And probably give it a human aspect.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like that because a lot of people today don't know the steps it takes to remain in business as an entrepreneur and the steps it takes to maintain the team, because without a good team, you can't go forward. So with your team at Bake International as a project manager, how do you choose your team from the overqualified to the underqualified to the experienced and to the ones that want to learn? How do you disperse that delegation?
What we believe, as you said, one of the key things that drove us to this is, as young people, from the initial, even as Kenya as a country, our initial stage of companies was also all companies are located in Nairobi.
Okay.
And you see, Nairobi is a certain generation that was able to benefit out of that particular market. And the truth is, the market is can I say, it's actually full. It's,
it's saturated.
However, that does not mean, yes, it's saturated. You cannot say that now. The fact that Nairobi is saturated in Kenya, certain thing cannot be done. So what we've done is the first kind of, in our HR system, the first point of interest is the young guys. We're not looking for someone who is overqualified. We're looking for someone who intends to, most of the time is who intends to work. We mentor the person based on their skill set. And you see, now we curate the kind of skill to be able to complement the other skills that we have within the team.
Okay.
So you'll be able to find very young people within our team.
Okay.
As young as 20 years old. But they are able to understand their goals, and most of the time they tend even to be able to deliver on clients' demand, compared probably getting a more experienced person that might not be able to understand the client. So we focus more on someone, the emotion around the brand, the understanding of the brand, and that's how we end up with a lot of young people whom we have mentored over time, and they now function as a system.
Okay. Do they have the how do I say this? The employees or the people that want to come and work and be a part of the experience, do they have entrepreneurial mindsets, or are they also working just to get by?
As a team, we don't believe in being a boss to staff or people working with you.
Yeah.
Some of us were started from a point of being mentored, and I want to really thank because we find that some of the people that we end up now working with are not even they are not situated in Bungoma, which is on the western part of Kenya.
Yeah.
But that's where we are situated as a company. You find that through the digital space, you have even people in Nairobi who are doing other things, but when it comes to work, you're giving them opportunity on part-time basis.
Yeah.
And this we're using on some of such people, because you see people are entrepreneur, but the current state of the economy, the current conditions that with the things that are going on, most skilled people are unable to rely fully on the 8 to 5 jobs.
That's true.
So through opportunities that we provide, someone is able now to save a little, do this or grow and be exposed on if it's design or animation, to be able to help someone on details to ensure that they have a certain standard in terms of production. So that if someone decides, okay, I'm going into animation, they're able to develop a whole platform to employ all other people around them within a certain time and be able to run a company on their own. So we don't develop leaders or young entrepreneurs to just be working for us, but we want them after a certain time. I want you to be able to have gone and you're contributing to society on a certain platform.
Yeah, I like that, because it's about giving somebody a chance to grow and then giving them a chance to fly.
Yes, sir. And the interesting thing is, what also as an entrepreneur you get to learn is, you might start with teaching someone, let's say even just etiquette.
Yeah.
But the person now comes in with another values that they add to the team with time. When you bring people who embrace a company, who embrace values, and you are able to teach them a thing, they'll be automatically, those value systems is like a ripple effect. You realize that now it affects all the staff members around you. Now people perform even better.
Yeah.
And they're able also to develop you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Okay. That's very, very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You also mentioned one more thing about intellectual property.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to know more about that. As far as your business and projects are, how do you guys protect your intellectual property? How do you finance your intellectual property? How do you manage it? What are the precautions that you take?
I think as of now, the two biggest problems towards growth of young companies or small SMEs within Africa is actually people not having or rather a scarcity in information on laws with regard to intellectual property. So what you find is you're finding so many young entrepreneurs who do not know how to monetize opportunities. We are having so many entrepreneurs who are ending up because of lack of finances. People are coming up with really good ideas, but at the same time, they'll have to access probably an older person who is outside the youth bracket to be able to register something. So most of the time, the ideas will come from the young people, but ownership of the idea ends up in the hands of probably someone who's not passionate about a particular issue. So you find most young entrepreneurs are really working hard, but at the end of the day, because of lack of the legal know-how, or rather lack of a system, probably because each country, I believe, has a ministry of sports, youth, and gender issues.
Yeah.
And if those ministries were at the forefront in terms of educating, because most of the time when you're having the government tends to make ministry, to develop, rather constitute ministries, they have people who end up thinking that probably the biggest problem that young entrepreneurs are facing is just money, but it's not. It's information on legal issues, understanding of that if I'm making this product, how do I patent it, probably,
right,
to be able to benefit from it. If I'm having a thought or rather an idea of a service, because I can open a certain company that serves a certain gap in society, but how do I control it from everyone duplicating the same issue and making it even probably worse because they do not understand the concept. So you find that most people are just duplicating, and the problem is because people are not able to protect the ideas and develop on them. So most ideas die on arrival because people do not understand the legal means around it, the legal requirements around it.
Yeah.
And they don't. Most young entrepreneurs are doing a guesswork in terms of how do I develop myself to the next level. We are not being taught, and this I blame the elder generation actually in Africa. Most people are not holding the hands of the younger generation and guiding them on other aspects of entrepreneurship. And that's where the problem comes in.
So the mentors that are taking care and coaching these young entrepreneurs, how do they acquire the knowledge when they don't know how authentic the source is?
You see, what I believe is, as an entrepreneur, opportunity doesn't come to you. You have to search for it.
True.
So again, it goes back to even issues that probably entrepreneurs in agribusiness, the entrepreneurs in horticulture and many other fields. But how? Because that's where I brought in the issue of the government. The government is not supposed to give you handouts. It's supposed to create an environment whereby you, as a young person, you know that there are tax reliefs.
Yeah.
There's let's say the issues of tax relief, the issues of consideration in government opportunities, the issues of when in the country, the issues even in terms of funding and processes of funding.
Yeah.
But as I said, the challenge doesn't come from there. The challenge comes in terms of the link between the government and the growth of the citizen as an entrepreneur. So it's disjointed in most African spaces.
Huh. Wow.
So you fund something, you work on it, it works. But most of the time, the biggest challenge most needs are facing is intellectual property, probably not guided accordingly.
Yeah.
And also, we need just bodies. These bodies that are being put up that support various ministries, they need to wake up, and this is for the whole of Africa, so that they find a way of engaging people from a higher, an early stage, like a secondary institution or tertiary institution, so that there's this growth and understanding of how an entrepreneur should work.
Yeah.
Let it not be that most people end up being entrepreneurs because they lack opportunities. It shouldn't be a fallback plan, being an entrepreneur, yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. And I think with mentorship programs and tutorial masterclasses, the people that are in this entrepreneurial phase can learn more and they can grow, because information now is everywhere on the internet. So if somebody really, really wants to dive in, they can find the information.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very true. Very true. And even when you're talking about this skills or other opportunities that people have to find,
yeah,
it will only take for me having been able to understand here there's an opportunity. I can be able to be featured on this podcast. Probably the reach is this kind of reach.
Yeah.
And people understand that it's not when, even as an entrepreneur, you see, like in Kenya right now, it's almost midnight. Right?
Wow. I'm listening.
And, yeah, it is actually midnight as of now. 20 minutes past midnight.
Wow.
And, but the question is, how many people know of such opportunities that I'm able to talk to a certain market or audience, or I'm able to combine with another brand to be able to benefit mutually from it, and it's not necessarily finances.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and also are we teaching our entrepreneurs to understand that beyond the normal one-on-one meeting with clients, that there are other avenues of clients that probably even the more developed brands are not using.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so those are conversations that when we find mentors on issues, business on these platforms, that creating that community, am I able to engage with you after this interview?
That's true. There has to be a
There's
snowball
such
effect.
conversation that now people, as Africa, now we have to start knowing that I can be able to comfortably consult another entrepreneur in Botswana doing the same thing, and probably also ask for opinion from Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah, I
As
agree.
young entrepreneurs, when you develop such networks and conversations, then growth is imminent.
That's true. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. There's so much that we need to learn and grow and use to our benefit, so that entrepreneurs don't lack knowledge and say they didn't know, because information is there for them to know. So for you, as we wrap up this segment, how can people reach out to you, and what's the best method of communication for you?
I'd say that to be able to have meaningful conversation actually with with clients, not only, or even potential partners or people that you can develop a certain product with. As a company, I think I believe more on the traditional email systems, and also on LinkedIn. You can find me Abel Linyonyi on LinkedIn, and that's what I go with in all my socials, as well as on email. That is abellinyonyi@gmail.com. That's so we can be able to converse with any potential client, partner, or employer. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good.
But I think one of the key things that we are also learning, as well as much as we deal with other brands, most of the time I think as entrepreneurs, and for us is also a gap that we are trying to fill.
Yeah.
But as much as we're helping other brands grow, the same knowledge that we're imparting on these other brands should start from our brand. So I think even in terms of setting up socials and all that, that's something that we're really taking serious to be able to directly engage with our marketplace.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. That's the only way we can be able to grow, and then have a communication platform where people can accumulate information and grow and be one with themselves. Because if you tell me something that I didn't know, I can use that in my country to better the nation at large. And entrepreneurship is so wide. So speaking of wide, have you seen the LinkedIn group that I started? I started it yesterday. It's called Aspiring Global Entrepreneurs.
Sure. I think I am part of it, and considering such a display, I believe is a platform also to consistently follow up on entrepreneurs and create a mood or a culture around it, and link these entrepreneurs to be able to effectively engage on matters, entrepreneurship and youth leadership.
Yes. If you know anybody that is interested in also knowing this, please let them know to join the group so that we can have a better conversation platform, and also increase this knowledge that everybody has. So that's very good to hear, and I really appreciate connecting with you on LinkedIn as well, because that's a place that I've not utilized for a long time, and just last year was when I really wanted to get into LinkedIn. So I really appreciate you for calling out.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any last things you want to let the entrepreneurs know, and any parting words that they can be able to go with as a key for the week?
Sure, sir. I think it's been said over and over, but when you try and fail is when you're growing. One of the key problems that entrepreneurs are facing out there is people don't want to come out. People are afraid of failure. I think for me, I want to tell them, embrace failure. Use it to grow. And then from that space, you're able now to grow and learn from your mistakes. And whichever thing that the final product you have, the more you fail, the better you become as a manager, the better you become as a team, the more your value system grows. So for me, I'd always encourage entrepreneurs, fail as much as you can, but also learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, that's true. I agree too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming onto this channel, and I'm definitely looking forward to speaking with you again, and we can touch on other matters. If there are any events coming up in the future, please let us know. Let us know on the group as well. We know what is going on in the world, but the world has to keep moving.
Yes, sir. I was about to actually, before I think you let me go, I'll be taken onto task not to share this. I think as a team, we've also the humanitarian side is really key in terms of what we do, and we've really tried to, the brands that we engage with, we have really taken time to understand how our values connect with their brands.
Okay.
from working with radio stations and so forth, right now we are even working with high school students to be able to, high institutions to be able to teach, or rather not to teach, but to be able to develop value systems that the brands are able to consume in terms of communication. And I can gladly say that we are now actually making major strides on the sensor. So for now, so just Santini, welcome to Kenya, welcome to western part of Kenya. We are happy people, we are very engaging people, and very understanding. So whenever you're working with us, it's always a good chance for you to try out working with a different brand that is in a different space and see the result.
That's true. And because you guys are in a different space, you guys have something unique to offer.
Indeed, sir.
Yes. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And also look out for this podcast segment on the LinkedIn group very soon in the course of the week. So I look forward to,
yes,
hearing from you again. And definitely we're going to keep in touch at this point.
Yeah, for me, I'd love to follow up. I'd love to engage with different audiences. Me and my team would love to see more of also other brands. So being able to work with this particular podcast, being able to have this conversation for us is really key. And we look forward to being involved in every part of the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.